few months ago, I went to an optional lecture on my course, which I never normally do, but this one caught my eye. It was called Ultrasound in Colour, mostly because until then I'd only seen like black and white pictures of ultrasound, and I had like a vague understanding of how it worked, which is you send some sound waves through a person and then certain bits like reflect back more than others, which makes sense, and then the bits that reflect back more you like colour in more basically, and that's why we do it in grayscale. If you've ever seen like a picture of a bone in ultrasound, it's white because bone reflects back a lot. The fluid surrounding a baby is usually black. That's why babies in ultrasounds kind of look like they're like in caves, because the fluid that they like sit in doesn't send much back to us. So if we're doing it in grayscale, an ultrasound is about sending sound waves and then bouncing back. The sound waves are all one frequency, which basically means they're all one colour. Then what the hell is ultrasound in colour talking about? So what is the photoacoustic effect? Well, it's something that's been known about since the 1800s, which is kind of crazy, because it's a very cool effect, and I think not many people know about it, which I think they should. So light hits a group of material and gets like absorbed, and then this heats up the atoms in that material, and they like expand a little bit. The atoms then cool down and contract if you just shine like a little bit of light on them. And this causes a pressure change that sends a little acoustic wave through the material that you can hear. And I thought this was fucking crazy when I heard about it. When I saw it for the first time, I thought it was fucking nuts. I saw a guy, I might be able to find the video. It's just like a guy, he'd had this big ass camera, big ass flash, but it's like obviously very quick. It was flash on a camera. And he just put it next to a Coke can and it flashed, and the Coke can made like a tink noise. Kind of crazy. Oh, and it was discovered by Alexander Graham Bell, which I think is like quite cool. He made the phone. He didn't make the phone. A lot of discourse about that. So this has been known since 1880. I checked. Until recently, we had kind of no use for it. It's pretty cool. You can make a Coke can make noise, but other than that, it doesn't do much. So we can shoot some light into a tissue, not an innuendo, but it can only go a few millimeters deep. Right? So we can only really do it on hands and stuff, but we can shoot this light into the tissue. If we do it at the right frequency, the light will get absorbed, not by our tissue, but by our blood. Deoxygenated and oxygenated blood, or hemoglobin-y stuff. I've forgotten which ones. Anyway, it gets absorbed by the blood in our veins, and this makes our veins expand like a little bit, and then the shockwave of from these veins like expanding a little bit and de-expanding means that we can place microphones around our hands and listen out for these sound waves traveling through our tissue from the vein. And if we have enough microphones around and they're all like wrapped around, I guess, we're covering all angles with the microphones, then we can do some pretty cool computer simulation where we reverse engineer these sounds to tell exactly where they're coming from inside the hand, which is fucking crazy. And it makes images like this. Now you might be thinking, I've never heard of vein cancer. I'm not gonna say you would be right, because it probably does exist. I'll check. Maybe it doesn't, blood cancer does. But anyway, all cancers need a really, really good supply of blood to the cancer cell. If the cancer cell has no blood, it'll die. We can't grow it. And so cancers usually form by areas with lots and lots of veins. And so that allows us to find tumors using this technique. And so these guys did it. Very impressive. Nice job, you guys. I'll link to all these papers in the description. Yeah, and I just think it's quite cool that we can do stuff like this using such like a weird technique. It's such a weird technique. It's just, we're using light, listening out for the shockwaves created by the light, and then reverse engineering the sound waves. Then reverse engineering the sound waves that come out from the veins, and we can map onto veins like that. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, there's still limitations, and these are mainly to do with the light actually, and also that whole reverse engineering process. The resolution to make that happen is quite difficult, but I would go read one of these papers to learn about those difficulties, because they're a lot better at explaining it than me, especially the guy who gave the lecture. I should find him. I will find him. But one of the major problems is the fact that sending light through skin, it physically can't go that far. If I have my torchlight and I shine it through here, you can see my torchlight, you can see it pretty well through my skin. Can't see it through my skin at all. It's kind of like fog. The only reason you can only see like so far into fog, depending on like how much fog is in the air, is because the light incoming into your eyes is getting like scattered into the fog, so you're just seeing other bits of fog, if that makes sense. The random walk of the light becomes a bit confusing, and it's worse in your tissue, which is why you can only see a few millimeters, or a few centimeters now, I think, which is cool. So yeah, but this is my first video. I thought I'd try and explain a complicated physics topic that I don't really understand. Hopefully you didn't understand it with me. Thank you, it's my first video. Yeah.